I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks as always for joining us on the teleconference. And reminder, if you have a question for Coach Marlin, please press *1 at this time. Coach, before we get to that, you're in the 7th seed in the conference tournament. You've won a number of games in a row to get to that point. Can you just give us your thoughts on really getting to that point in the standings and earning the number 7 seed?
Well, we had a patch in the middle of the season where we dropped 4 straight, and we rebounded from that and have won 6 in a row, won 3 in a row on the road, swept the Carolinas, one of only 2 teams that did that, the other being Texas State. So we certainly felt good about our momentum. We came in and had a great game with Texas State that we rallied to win in overtime, and then had a great senior night beating UTA, the conference champion, for Jay Wright, our only senior. And we had won 5 in a row and not moved out of 8th spot, and then we wound up with the 7th spot. But this morning we were looking at it, and we had the basketball down 1 against Georgia State in Atlanta, and we got the ball to the player that we wanted, Bryce Washington, who led the league in field goal percentage 2 years in a row, and he missed a shot with 6 seconds to go. If he makes that shot, then we're the 2 seed outright. So that tells you how close our league is. So we don't think we're a 7 seed in our mind. We think we've got the 3rd best RPI in the league and the 2nd best overall record. And we're excited about the opportunity to play in the tournament, and we're looking forward to playing Little Rock.
Coach, as you mentioned, Little Rock is the first opponent for you in the tournament. Can you give us your thoughts on how that game might go on Wednesday?
Well, it'll be a tough battle. Wes's group's playing better. They've won 2 of the last 3 games, and they're a different team than they were early in the season. He had a lot of injuries he had to go through. We played them early and beat them in Little Rock and on an ESPN2 game, then turned around and beat them at home. And we know that we'll get a great effort from those guys. We had a great battle with them last year in the semifinals in the tournament.
Well, Coach, the All-Conference Awards were announced this afternoon, and big presence from the Raging Cajuns on them. We'll go through really one by one. The Defensive Player of the Year was Jay Wright, your senior guard. Really, again, what has he brought to your team this season, and how do you think he was able to earn that award with his defensive play this year?
Just an outstanding competitor, great defensive player. I'm glad the other coaches in the league see what we see, and we see it on a daily basis in practice and every game. He draws the opponent's top guard and defensively, and has done a really good job battling bigger and stronger guards for the most part. So we're excited that Jay was able to win that award and think it's well-deserved.
And the Newcomer of the Year award went to Frank Bartley IV, transfer student coming in as a junior. Really, what has he brought to your team this season?
Well, Frank set out last year and practiced with us every day, and he got off to a really good start. Our 2nd game, we were at Montana State, and he had a big game shooting the basketball and really got his confidence up. And for a long stretch there, he was really shooting a 3-point shot well. Struggled a little bit in the middle of the season, and he's come back. He had a big game against UTA the other night. So he's made a major impact on our team, and really proud of Frank and the way that he's gone about his business in preparation every day, and certainly the way he scored the basketball and defended for us.
And again, Bryce Washington was named to the 2nd team All-Sun Belt team. Only student-athlete averaging a double-double, but what has his impact been for your team this season?
Well, it's been tremendous. I mean, we lose the best rebounder in Sun Belt history in Sean Long, and he turns around this year and leads the league in rebounding. He's 5th in the nation. He's ranked among the national leaders. Well, as you said, the only player to lead the league to average a double-double in the league, and he leads the league in field goal percentage. So personally, I don't know how you keep him off the first team. And that's not sour grapes, that's a fact. But he is a really good player, and he had a tremendous year for us, and just a solid performer, good leader for our team, and he's battled injury all year as well.
Well, Coach, you've been to this tournament now a few years in a row. What is your preparation now coming to New Orleans to play in this conference tournament?
Same as we always do. We'll practice today and try to sharpen our blade a little bit for Little Rock, work on some specific things that we'll see, study some film. And then we have an advantage to stay here and practice tomorrow because we're close to New Orleans. We'll get in tomorrow evening over to the city and grab a nice meal, get checked in a hotel, and then get our notebooks out and our films out and get back to work with the guys in preparation for Little Rock.